Hello and welcome. It is my pleasure today to introduce to all of you Purvi Shah from Aurora, Illinois. After working 13 years in the field of pharmacy, she moved on into the arts and created Creative Kids, an organization that brings art to children. She, in the process, also explored her own passion for the arts and loves to paint abstracts and landscapes. She is an Ekal Indie Art Ambassador and is giving her time to help Ekal Vidyalaya, an organization that brings education to over 100,000 rural remote villages, to bring this be part of this competition called Indie Art, which is an art competition whereby Ekal is promoting creativity amongst individuals in the United States while at the same time supporting digital literacy in India. Welcome to Lokvani, Purviji. What a pleasure.
Thank you, Ranjani ji. What a pleasure to be part of this moment. Let me thank you, Jarna ji, Pavin ji, and the whole team. I would like to use one word, like, it's a movement called artivism. So it's a bunch of activists working along with a bunch of artists for such a noble cause. So for digitalizing the education for the unprivileged kids in India. Amazing job. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, artivism. I like that. I will use that word more and more. I think that's so true, right? Most artists, that's what we want to use our art for, to make a change in the world. And beautiful word for us. And now, but of course, you didn't start as an artist or an artivist. You started as a pharmacist. So how did that happen? How did you go all the way from being a pharmacist to an artist? And what was your journey? Did you learn art, or how did that come to be?
No, Ranjani ji, I didn't born as a born artist. So basically, I did my master's of pharmacy back in India. Then I was working in the pharmaceutical research as a scientist for almost 5-6 years. Never planned to come USA, got married, it's destiny, bring it me here, and came as on H4 visa, like, as like all the artists might have mentioned you. So on H4 visa, you can't work as a scientist. I was loving my job, but you can't work as a scientist. So then I started giving my exams to be a pharmacist, to work in a retail industry. And then I became a pharmacist, was working full-time as a pharmacist. Then I had my second kid, and then with 2 kids, it was very difficult, to manage family, working as a full-time in a retail. So I thought to go part-time, which was possible in my field. So I went part-time. Now the kids were growing and I was getting some more free time. So I thought how I would want to utilize this time. And since childhood, there were 2 things always in the mind. I want to do something in the healthcare field to help people, and something in the education field. So as a pharmacist, I was making a difference a little bit, but making a difference in a healthcare field. But in education field, I never tried, and I don't have a background of teaching or anything. And then I was thinking and exploring myself that what things I wanted to do and didn't get chance to do. So I always like to do crafts and things like that. So I thought, I'd been to Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I always I will do one day. So then I thought it's better, if I explore that hobby of mine. And I thought, okay, so I started thinking more, and it came up how about when I'm learning, I will teach at the same time to the kids, because I am emerging artist. It's hard for me when I started to teach adults. Now it's not that hard, but when I started, I was like, let's try with kids. And I asked a couple of kids in my community, would you like to have a trial class? And they really loved it. They forced me, you should do this. And I was like, okay, I'll start part-time, as an artist. And that's how I established Creative Kids.
Wow. And so now you have learned art. So how does somebody who doesn't know art learn the techniques? How do you go ahead and learn and at the same time teach it to younger children?
Yeah, so learning and teaching is when you are teaching someone, the learning will automatically come, because you have to learn to teach the kids something new every time. In you know, when you have something in your heart, when you have something in your mind, a picture, an image, there are so many resources available right now nowadays. Like you can do Pinterest, YouTube, and you can see many artists' videos, and you try to learn the techniques they are using. And the practice is the key. So keep practicing, and you will be artist one day.
So it sounds like what you are doing, like you have a vision of what you want to create, and then you look around and learn the techniques from many, many different sources as a self learner. Would you say that that's what you're
Yes,
doing?
that's correct.
And the good news now for young people is that there are art teachers like you who are teaching them the techniques. So now they have a big toolbox and they can just use the techniques to create their vision. Would you say that?
Yeah, sure. Because when, like, when some kids they do the artwork, we always try to say and praise them, that, oh, you did a wonderful job. But now, as an artist, as a teacher, I see like you should praise them for the efforts they are making. Of course, you should. But at the same time, we can point out their mistakes too, that this can be done better, so they can use that tool nowadays. It's easy for them.
It is easy for them, yeah, to have a teacher. I think that's really fantastic. And I'm seeing that a lot of, through this indie art effort, we see there are a lot of teachers who are teaching art, and I'm so grateful. I mean, I think the Indian community should be so grateful, for all your hard work. So thank you for that. Now, as you're an artist now, and you are a pharmacist, do you see any connection between the science side of you and the art side of you?
Yeah, so Ranjaniji, going back now, connecting the dots, if I think the pharmacy also taught me so much art during my study period, because pharmacy is not just the field of a medicine, it's a field of diversity. Like we learn engineering drawing, we learn math, we learn statistics, literature, chemistry, biology, anatomy, physiology. So we have to literally sketch, we learn proportions, geometry, when we sketch in our engineering drawing or in the anatomy physiology subject. And chemistry is always like, doing different colors and stuff. Like, so now if I go back, I can connect the dots that, oh yeah, that helped me maybe to move through my art journey.
That's fantastic. And I think that's a very interesting point that you bring up. I think art is part of almost everything that we study. If you're going into the medical profession, definitely anatomy and physiology is, you need to visualize that. I know as a civil engineer, we had to do a lot of drawings, so orthogonal projection, and I was terrible at it, but I do know that it is very important. And of course, nowadays, I mean, presentations and everything else, there's a lot of art that goes on in it. So now tell us why you were so kind as to give your time to become part of Ekal Indie Art.
So Ekal is doing amazing job, and as I said, I always wanted to do something in education field. Even I try to find to do some fundraisers, some kind of charity event through my artwork, like, especially my Mother's Day events, my women workshops. Like usually I try to give back to community, and I always wanted to make a difference in education field. So what can be better than Ekal, So if we donate something, we are making difference on particular that time. We are giving food or giving shelter to somebody. But if we are giving education, we are making difference there for their whole life.
Wow, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. And not only that, now you are going to be giving a Ekal Indie Art workshop. So what can we expect from you in that workshop?
So basically, I'm gonna offering a Zen pond, which is a acrylic painting. So Zen is a type of meditation. It's, I think, a Japanese word. So I'm gonna paint, there is like 2-3 symbols which symbolizes the peace and purity. Like there is a lotus, bamboo, and the Zen stones, which symbolizes Buddha. So it's basically meditative art. And what can be better in this pandemic than the art which gives you peace?
Beautiful. I didn't know. I know the Zen and the art of the motorcycle repair or whatever that was, but I didn't know about Zen and art. That's great. That there was an artist.
And the good thing is I'm gonna teach one stroke painting. So nobody has to draw anything, but they're gonna mix two different colors on the paintbrush, and they're gonna paint, and at the same time they're gonna blend and highlighting. So everything in one stroke.
That is so fantastic. Wow, I'm really excited and looking forward to, listening in and watching the workshop, and maybe I probably can at least paint one stroke, so which we will find out. So great, Purviji. Thank you so much. And do you have any advice for you teach so many kids? How do they further their career as an artist?
So number one thing, believe in yourself. Like, if you have a passion for anything, go for it. So I would say passion, and practice will make you a good artist.
That's beautiful. I think I've heard that from every one of the teachers or every one of the ambassadors. When I ask what makes a great artist, the first thing they say is practice. They don't say talent. I have not heard talent yet. I heard
Yes,
passion and
yes.
practice. So you believe that those are the two key ingredients, even more than the inherent talent?
Yes, I believe practice, 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 and it will make you perfect.
Perfect. That's wonderful. And that's probably what they should do even for getting into competitions. Do you have a, opinion on why people should participate in competitions?
So basically, it gave you the motivation to do something better, something more.
Yeah.
If there is no competition, you will be like, okay, I'll do tomorrow. I won't do it today, but that will make you going towards your goal.
Going towards your goal. Thank you so much, Purviji. And it's really, when I listen to all of your art ambassadors, I realize that there's a big career, as an artist. Indians often think that art is not a career, but all of you are pursuing it as a career, and really very, very proud of what you do. And thank you for giving your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ranjaniji. Thank you so much.